Hey everyone, my name is Chris. This is my shop. Welcome to Make the First Cut Woodworking. Last week's video, a little disjointed. I think it was titled, Is This a Good Thing? I apologize for that. There's a reason for it because I was basically a little disjointed. But let me go ahead and quickly explain and maybe further explain what was going on in last week's video, and maybe that will help. And then we'll get to some other projects that I finished around the shop this week, and we'll go from there, okay? So hang on. So last week you saw me making this and then putting 4 strips of wood like this on it. And this, by the way, I didn't explain it, is simply nothing more than something that I wanted to have something to butt the wood up against so that it wouldn't, because if I had laminated this wood right directly on the workbench here and tried to clamp it down, the wood would have shifted, different pieces would have shifted at different angles, and I wanted something to register the wood on, so that's what I was doing. And I had 4 pieces of wood here. I got them down, I was about ready to glue them all up, and then it occurred to me that I shouldn't do that, and that's where I stopped. So I apologize for leaving it hanging like that with, so little explanation, but that's basically what I was doing. And I did end up doing it. I did three layers instead of 4 because I realized the 4th one should wait until later on. And this is what it turned out to be. It was just here, and obviously I did the same thing I did on the other form. I just put the caul in, put the clamp on, clamped it down all across the face, waited for a while, waiting for glue dry. We're all used to that. And that's what it turned out to be. So we're in good shape there. So hopefully that clears up any confusion that I left on last week's video. What you're looking at now is, obviously I've laminated 3 pieces of wood together here. And if you remember last week I told you that I was waiting on an order of these Irwin clamps to come because initially I bought them in a 4-pack, and the 4-pack was like $20. That made them like $5 a piece, but individually they cost $15, and the store didn't have them anymore, so I came home, ordered them online so I could get the same price and the same deal, same 4-pack for $20. And I don't know what happened. They lost my order, and it's been 2 weeks and I'm not waiting anymore. I waited. I'm only so much of a miser, and then I just say I got to get stuff done. So I canceled the order, and I got desperate and ran over to Harbor Freight and picked up these clamps from them. And I know I've heard the horror stories about how these things stink, but you know what? For these were the like $4.99 a piece or something like that. They're the 12-inch version because the Irwins came in at 12 and then in a smaller 6-inch. For doing this, they came out fine. So I'm relatively impressed. How they work with other stuff I don't know, but they worked on this just fine and dandy. What I want to do now though is when you do a lamination like this, and I've never done one to this extreme. I've done laminations before that were more less of a curve. It was more of just a bevel, but there's always a certain amount of spring back you get, and you have to take that into account when you're making the frame and you're building whatever it is you want to bend. What do you say we start disassembling this thing, and I'll get the clamps off of it, and we'll see how much spring back we get. And then there's one thing you're definitely probably going to need is going to be a couple putty knives or something, because there's going to be glue that no matter, I taped off the entire top and face and base of this so the glue wouldn't stick too bad, but it's still going to stick to the tape, and you got to pull that off. So let's go about bringing these things off, and we'll see how much of a spring back we get. That's actually not too bad. I was expecting a little more than that. I don't know if you can get the angle on this, but there's the, we're seeing, I don't know, I guess maybe a little more than 1/4 of an inch each side it's spring back. But think I can deal with that. Obviously, need to clean up here where the clamps were, and this is Harbor Freight's signature all over it. Well, I shouldn't say that because these are when the clamps were up front, but yeah, we just need to clean up the edges. I've got the back done. That's going to go straight across the back here, so I just need to trim this off to length, install the back. We'll be done with this thing. Okay, so the back of the apron is done, thankfully. The front of the apron is done, thankfully. Got some cleanup to do. I have to install the attachment block so that I can get a tabletop attached to the apron. I'll just be installing those probably here, and then that'll give me a chance to maybe screw through the attachment block and into the tabletop itself to attach the apron to the bottom of the table. But attach this to this, and we're going to call that a day. I'm done with it. I'm sure you are too by now, but thankfully we're good with this. Next week we'll be talking about legs. Yeah, legs, baby. No, not that kind of legs, I'm sorry. These kind of legs. We'll be getting those trued up so that the top and bottom both parallel to each other. We'll get them all cut up so we can attach them to the apron itself. And we'll be ready to rock and roll then. So until we get together again, I appreciate you stopping by. And just remember, get out in your shop, get busy. And in order to finish something, you have to start it. And in order to start it, what do you need to do? You got to make the first cut. You guys have a good week.